Hey everybody, we're back. Another session with the Andromedans. We got a message from them that they have selected another person to take the place of Ilo. It is March 8th, 2019. And it's about 10:45 here in the evening. And Bob is doing out of body. He could sense the presence of the ship aligning itself directly above our airspace.
Well, a little further up, but yeah.
I said directly above our airspace.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, there's any given day, there's thousands of these craft, you know, in the air, but if you see one, it's because they're allowing themselves to be seen, because they're always hanging out. We call it side-banded, where they're just a slight different dimensional space, just enough so we can't see them. And another thing they do to hide themselves is a lot of times they cloak themselves in clouds. They might present a holographic cloud image. So if you see any interesting clouds that kind of are smooth and circular or oblong, very, you know, smooth shapes, even when they're super large, because these craft can be super large. Think about it, give it a good look. You might be looking at a starcraft. So it looks like we're making contact. Here we go. Hi, how you doing?
Fine. Always fine.
And my name's Paul.
Mine is Avin.
Say that again, please.
Avin.
Avin. So A-V-I-N would be good spelling?
Possibly. Given your language, it can be confusing.
Yeah, well, English is a very difficult language. There's easier ones, I'm told, but at the same time, it's very concise.
It is, but there are conflicting tones that do more to give it headaches more than anything else.
Yes. I think it was Ilo. We briefly mentioned that our languages, a lot of our languages, actually come down to us from different alien races, is where they got their start from.
Your DNA comes from different alien races. You have all of the best DNA across, believe it or not, the entire multiverse. And unfortunately, you have some of the worst DNA traits from across the multiverse.
Isn't that a pistol?
I am what is known as a Zaahyin priest.
Okay.
My people are guides and teachers and helpers to those you know as the Andromedans. But to you, your people, we're here as friends.
As you know, we of course know you very well, but I appreciate you giving that little intro for our viewers. And it's another thing you could say about yourselves is that you are very much like shepherds to the Andromedan people, right? Is that a good word?
We have been.
You help them when they're in difficult times and decisions, and you're like high spiritual leaders that actually you have a lot of high technology yourself, and I believe that you pretty much exist in the fifth and sixth dimension. Is that correct?
More like sixth.
Okay, and so that is to say that you don't have solid bodies as we know them.
Except when we decide we need them.
Right. Okay.
Much of what you call physical matter is a hologram, but it is a hologram put together with interconnecting waves of harmonics geometry.
Right. It's the dense overlay that gives us the illusion of things being solid, right?
Also that you perceive each other that way.
Yes.
If you didn't perceive each other as being solid, you would be able to walk through each other without harm.
And that would be wild, huh? And is it not true that the vibration in the higher dimensions is actually faster, where in the lower dimensions, another thing that gives things the appearance, the illusion of solidity, is the vibration is very, very much slowed down to what is experienced in other dimensions. Is that correct?
You could say that, but that isn't really the main determiner.
Yeah.
It is more the interaction of geometric forms. But to us, geometric forms, we don't consider it to be a shape as much as we consider it to be a sound.
Okay.
Harmonics.
Cool.
We wish to say, people of Earth, listen. People of Earth, listen. We are here as your friends. We're not your teachers. We're not your masters. We're not your overseers. We're here simply to help you into your next spiritual step. The time of ascension is upon you. How you, as both a collected species and as individuals, take these next steps is totally up to you. But we can help you. Actually, if you even call our names in your mind, just call Zaahyins. We can link into that and give you some help. We cannot determine your lives for you. This is something that no species, no matter how advanced it may seem to be, ever has the right to do.
That's right.
Now, for your somewhat sad, tired and confused world, your deliverance is at hand. Let those of you on earth who are hearing me and those of you beyond the earth who are hearing me know that the time of empire is over. Those who worship empire, listen carefully and you will hear the sounds of the nails being driven into the lids of your coffins. We'll be helping to drive those nails. Let it be known, a line has been drawn in the stars, and no one passes without our consent. What we have found in what you call the human race is wondrous and a wonderment. You have survived so much, and so much has been done to you. As I said previously, you have the best and the worst of all possibilities in you. Your inherent nature is what you term good. Sometimes that inherent nature has to be called to come forward, but it's amazing to us that when things are at their worst, many of you become your best. You have the capacity to bring up the highest good on your own, within yourselves, and together. Within your lifetimes, many of you will be here to see that your race will be invited into a federation of multiple galaxies, a federation of multiple races, multiple stars. You will be heard. And in time, we will be hearing you. You will teach us. You have no idea, perhaps, the hope that we see and that we have in you. No one could come through the adversities and the alterations you have come through without having something extremely good in them, extremely special going for them. In the days to come, there will be many of our Zaahyin craft in your solar system.
What do your craft look like?
They're almost totally crystalline. Again, you have to understand they are geometric harmonics put together. You see, it is not just a matter of throwing a bunch of energy into a magnetic bottle to make a form. That's clumsy. There are some races still doing that. Reptilians, for one. But it is a matter of bringing energy together in such a way that it interacts with itself and makes linkages. Those linkages, those connections, are wave touch points of geometric harmonics. The entire multiverse is
creating with consciousness.
Yes. I'm going to say this in a term, it's outdated for us, but we know it will make good sense to you, and it is accurate. God is both the singer and the song. Mm-hmm. And there is the harmonics. Many of you have a term you call intelligent design or inspired design. The term fits, but you need to view it from a standpoint of heart and not just simply as detached observer, because you're not detached. Nothing any of you ever will do can be seen as being detached. You're involved. So decide what you're going to be involved in. We can help you with those decisions if you call us. Some of you would look upon us as being angels. It's a nice harmonic tone. And that's what we are. We are a call. We are a song calling you. We know that there are those who would wish to have us give information concerning an ongoing quiet war within your various governments and institutions on Earth. We had the unfortunate lesson of losing one of our kind who gave a little too much information at a time when he perhaps should not have. If you're looking for that kind of information, perhaps you would like to find another site or channel on your various social media where you can learn to meditate. There are many of these in offering, and they all have, to some degree, an amount of good to share. We are here to call to the best in you. And our very presence will actually help quicken that part of your DNA. You see, you have help. You're not alone. The Andromedan species would not be capable of altering your DNA in the way that we can, in a subtle but graceful way. And what reptilians and diminutives and others have done to your DNA without your request, without your permission, without your consent, is a crime. And we have decided to draw a line in the stars.
Can I ask that question?
Momentarily, just a minute.
Okay.
We took a little longer getting here, at least I did, because of some shifting in the stargate of your sun. Your star is somewhat unstable at this time. I think your cat has his own agenda. But we are attempting to do what we can to bring stability to your star. Your section of your galaxy is experiencing a different harmonics than it has for quite a long time. And this is just the beginning. Some things will get worse. We will help as much as we can. Some things will get amazingly better. For the most part, the energies coming through will call to those parts of your DNA that need to be reactivated to bring you to all that you can be. This may take months for some, it may take years or even a few lifetimes for others. But at least the offering is here. You wanted to ask a question, go ahead.
Yeah, so, clearly, mentioning some things, that are going on politically, can be dangerous, and not wise to do. However, in the past, whether it was the AI or ILO, some very interesting, I think helpful info was mentioned about current events going on in our world. So from what you said a few minutes ago, are you saying that you're not going to comment at all on any current events anymore?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying we will be very guarded.
Okay. All right.
And
good.
for those who are expecting a list of, as you put it, current events, they may be disappointed.
Okay. No. Okay. Good. And this might be a good time. Right now, now and then I like to indulge our viewers if they have a question, And today's question is Darian Russell. She's a woman from New Mexico, and she'd like to know if you could tell her if she is Andromedan. Darian Russell from New Mexico.
She believes from her parents that she may have. Her soul is more Andromedan, though, than her physical being.
Uh-huh.
But she does have Andromedan traits sprinkled, I think is the term, in her DNA.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Are there further questions?
Nope, that's it.
I guess I get an A.
As long as there's not too many, I'll do that. But but there might come a time when too many people are asking too many questions, and then we wouldn't have time for you to say what you want to say. So, but for right now, it's just here and there. So
Understood. For this evening, this is the bulk of our conversation.
okay.
We do wish to let you know that we are looking into the matter of what you call Antarctica.
Can you say anything about that?
Our problem at this time is having to deal with your government and the Russian government.
Okay, well, I know there's a lot of, really, heavy, politics going on, but I mean, any background, for instance, a lot of people, believe that Antarctica is actually the biggest landmass that exists, that was at one point in time Atlantis. Is that true?
That depends what period of Atlantis you're talking about. I'm not being slippery here.
Okay, sure.
If you consider Atlantis to be extraterrestrials in your world, yes. It would be one of the earliest forms of what you would call Atlantis.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, the landmass that's there, I've heard it said that geologically, if you go back millions of years, that landmass was actually tropical, right?
Yes.
So, for it to be any form of Atlantis in any way, shape, or form, that would be, a time of millions of years ago. So it wouldn't be like the Atlantis had disappeared, 50,000 years ago or what have you.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's understood.
It would be very similar to, let's say, if extraterrestrials came, which they have, to your nation and built a superculture, and then something horrific happened, and the United States of America shifts under Canada. But then other places in the world would be the new United States of America, though they might have names somewhat different, but similar. And through different ages, there would be newer and newer and newer Americas.
I sense you're alluding to the idea that it's been said by a lot of people that the souls, by and large, that proliferated the last known incarnation, if you will, of Atlantis, are now residing in our country. Are by and large the souls and people that energetically reside in our country, and that's why we have some of the greatest creative minds and have moved technology so fast in terms of faster than most other countries in the world, as well as on the downside we have dare I say, an infatuation with war. And that's that's partly what caused Atlantis' last downfall, right?
Many people feel that the Atlanteans destroyed themselves. They didn't. It was done to them.
Yeah, but wasn't it because they were warring? I mean,
Partly, yes. Partly also because they were standing up to another race that wanted to keep them under its control. And
Also,
when they began to try to break free of that, they were not allowed to.
Oh, okay. Well, that puts it in a better light.
This is why we are here this time. And we are seeing to it that other races who had intended for you to be under their control and to basically extend an empire of, well, to use one of your terms, Satan, across parts of the multiverse, we simply would not allow it. And we had taken steps to do that. Let me say that something that signaled the beginning of this, actually two things. First of all, you're human people beginning to work behind the scenes to free your race. Another, when the one referred to as the favored son decided to do his attacks upon the diminutives and then starting against the reptilian race. This signaled to us that it was time that we could get involved and help bring about a better change, a better future.
And we thank you.
We thank you for the invitation. And with that, let us bid you a fine night and a fine month of March. We will speak again in the very foreseeable future.
This sounds good. So you're going to be the regular contact now?
Yes.
Avin? All right. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, folks. Well, there you have it. Another interesting installment. That was number 13, by the way. I think I failed to say that at the beginning. That was our 13th session. So, our new contact person is Avin. He is a Zaahyin priest. They are a very high level of Andromedan. They're kind of like, well, I think the term fits them well. You can kind of get an idea of, you know, and he explained, I think, you know, satisfactorily about their role and what they do. So, I guess that's it. I don't know what else to say about this session. So it looks like Bob came back to his senses, and I'll let you go.
Thank you.